Hello and welcome to the MotoGP qualifying session. I'm your commentator Megan Birch, and as you'll notice, Joshua Birch is not here, as I said in the Free Practice 2 session. He will be back for the sprint race later, don't worry. I am definitely hoping he'll be back then too, which he will be. I think he's back in about an hour and a half, because he's currently coming back here right now. I shall pass you over to TNT, however, for the start, and then you'll be back to me for the qualifying.
Because the championship was close, and I received many good messages. I received many videos, but now I will enjoy it. I will try to enjoy it because it's difficult, but I will enjoy this GP here in Valencia to celebrate the 2025 World Championship.
It sounds like the recovery is going in a positive way. What do the next couple of months, couple of weeks look like for you? When do you expect to be maybe back on a bike?
Yeah, the most important thing is that this new injury didn't affect the other injuries in the right arm, because we know, we will not explain again how is the right arm, but didn't affect that injury, so it's a matter of time that the bone is coming better and better, and the ligaments takes a little bit more time, but I think in 3-4 weeks I will start my rehabilitation I start already right now, but in a bit stronger way.
And of course you'll be disappointed not to be involved in the test, but can you still be involved? Can you still have an input, an impact on Tuesday?
I mean, the positive thing is that during all the season, me, Alex and Pecco especially, we had more or less the same comments. It's true that Pecco had some difficulties these last races, but it looks like this weekend right now was second position, so looks like he's coming back. I believe on them. They are very good riders, and they will choose the good direction. It's true that I will retry the things in Malaysia test. If everything is going well, I will be there. So from that point, we will start our pre-season.
Enjoy the gala tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mark is great to listen to, isn't he? He gives you so much content in one answer. We'll not talk about the injury again because he's talked about it so much, but it looks like very much he's on the right track. No worries there with anything coming back for next year. And interesting comments about the test and putting the trust in his brother, in Pecco. And he'll be overseeing that test though, won't he?
Yeah, he'll be taking a close look, obviously, at what's going on, but I think he's confident that Ducati already knows how to move forward for next year. You know, there's obviously the engine freeze for next year for Ducati, but they'll still be able to pick from the specs that they're already using this year. So I think he's very confident in them actually making the package better and putting it all together again.
He sounds a lot more confident than his teammate Pecco Bagnaia does, with the comments that he made about nothing will change. It couldn't be more opposite.
Yeah, I mean, Pecco did say that about the test, but again, I still think like Ducati has got a very good understanding of what has gone on with the 2025 spec bike. I think they obviously have a very solid base as well to come back to if they need to with the 2024 one. Yeah. They know that works. So I get the feel that it's going to be like a conservative approach for next year. They know they can have a strong package. They know they don't need to take risks, and they also know that they got Marquez just in case.
Yeah, absolutely. And as Mark mentioned there, Pecco went much better in that last session. Of all of the ones in Q1, he looked the strongest. It looked like he got it together for a hot lap.
Looked good. Looks really good with the pace as well, and he looked confident on the bike. So yeah, for Pecco, he just missed out yesterday on the direct access to Q2, but so we're going to see him in Q1 now. It's going to be really important for him now, because with that pace, he can definitely take the fight, for the win and for the podium anyway. So he's going to have to qualify well, though, because it's very difficult to overtake on this track. We know that. He knows that. So he's got to take the risks, and it looks like he's made a step forward from yesterday.
Yeah, he's got the likes of Aleix Espargaro, Brad Binder, Raul Fernandez, only 2 going through, but absolutely vital that he manages to get through this next session.
It's going to be tough, though. Aleix Espargaro as well has been in great form since arriving.
If anyone can do 1 lap and just scream round, it's him, isn't it?
It's going to be tight. It's going to be super tight, so Pecco needs to put the lap all together. He's going to have to take maximum risk to get through that Q1, and it's vital for both races. You know, if you're not on the first 2 row here, you are completely compromising your race.
Well, he definitely did the prep in that last session, didn't he, in free practice. As they head out for Q1, we'll hand back to Gav.
Right, so I shall be doing the commentary now and just making sure everything is fine. Yep, on the YouTube screen. Yeah. Right, so this is the start of qualifying 1. I shall read out who is currently out on the track. They all seem, it's very unusual. They've all come out at once. See? Every single one of them are coming out at once. Usually you find a couple of people who like to just stay in until everyone's done their initial lap. So then it's a little bit easier for them to kind of get a clearer run. So that they'll probably be going in when they are actually on their not warm-up lap. So it is very unusual for us to see them all out at once. So I suppose it's because it's the last Q1 of the year. They're just desperate to get out there and like get it over. Right, so currently in this Q1 session, we have Martin, Zarco, Augusto Fernandez, Marini, Bullaga, Vinales. It's only just clicked that Vinales is back, also back from injury. Oh, that's lovely. Bastianini, Raul Fernandez, Raul's always getting out of Q1, so I won't be surprised if he is one of the first 2 in this session. Binder, Chantra, Aleix Espargaro and Rins. Now, Vinales finally back from injury because his injury was nasty. And I'm quite pleased about that. I haven't seen... Ooh, this must be... I feel like it's been like a couple of months, so it feels like forever since we've seen both Vinales and Martin. Both of them haven't been in for like so long, and I think they got injured around the same time as well. Because it was that time period where literally everyone was injured all the time. I mean, that's basically just MotoGP in general, but it was that time period where they kept getting injured within the races. For some reason, my mind goes to Germany. The German Grand Prix around that time. Oh, and crash right there. I think that is Rins right there, just losing it on the entry. Oh no, it's Augusto Fernandez. It's the blue. It is the blue. You can't tell who's who. It's Augusto Fernandez losing it on the entry to turn 8, and thankfully he didn't go too deep into the gravel. It's kind of just like he shaved the gravel, if you know what I mean. Just like grazed into it and then stopped. So it did its job. But that was live as well. Just saw it in the background of the screen. So the yellows come back in now. First times are set. Let's hope it didn't ruin anyone's lap times. Bagnaia. Did I say Bagnaia on the entry? Why is Bagnaia here? Why are both of the Ducatis in Q1, sorry? Has that happened at all this year before? I mean, surely it has. But that's... Why? Why is Bagnaia here? Oh, okay. I'll make sure to ask Joshua why later on. Right, Bagnaia does a 129.732. He'll probably be one of the ones who's out into Q2, let's face it. Zarco is also estimated P1 though, as well as Bastianini and Bagnaia himself again. So, currently Bagnaia has, as I just said, a 129.732. Then Zarco is second with, I think that's a 120 129.905, and then we just had Vinales going fourth for 130.248. Getting quite a lot of fast lap times, especially from Zarco. Good for Zarco. He might go, well, he might maintain his second because Bagnaia is just going a little bit fast. You can't be crashing this many times as a chess rider. Yeah. Oh, and I did forget Pecco. Sorry, Pecco. But I think it's because I got distracted by the fact that Vinales was back. I was just in a state of shock. I must have read his name out last session as well, and it didn't click till now. Yeah, crashing out this many times, I'm a bit concerned about how many times he does crash out and have to turn the TV back on. Well, not back on, stop from turning off. Especially when his job is to help collect data for the development of the Yamaha bikes. Yeah, so far the data is that it's crashable. I don't think that's what they're looking for, especially given testing's so close. So they're definitely going to have to fix that problem in the next 2 days. And I can definitely tell who this is without having to look twice. It's Quartararo, and I can always tell that because for some reason he always has his shirt off in the garage without an undershirt on. But I'm very surprised he doesn't have his pearl necklace on. Which honestly, yeah, I do get annoyed by the fact he wears that and doesn't have his chain anymore because I think it's kind of a safety hazard. But he doesn't have it on today. That makes me think, did it break? Or maybe he just forgot to put it on. Yeah, it has when Mark is out. Oh! Pecco is struggling. And it's same pattern, continues to struggle with the GP25. Yeah, I don't think it suits him. Let's hope next year with the improvements he seems to... let's hope he's more at home with the improvements. Maybe he can even get another World Championship. I mean, it's unlikely because I'm pretty sure that if Mark recovers in time, which he will, it's months away, then he might be going for another championship like he did this year. 8 minutes left to go of the Q1 session. I'll read out the order right now of where everyone is. Ralph Fernandez is currently in first with 129.5. Is that 554? 564? I can't tell. Then we have Zarco. Zarco is on it today, honestly. Has Raul had a haircut? Sorry, it's just... He has. Oh, and it is a 554. I was right. And then Zarco has a 129.586, and we have Bagnaia heading out onto the track now with 7.5 minutes left to go of the session. Seems like Ralph Fernandez is also heading back out, as well as Zarco. Zarco, I feel... His eyes are kind of like a little bit worried, all nervous, and a bit calculating. It's how I saw him when he won in France. That calculatingness, like, okay, what I've got to do? What have I got to do to actually get this going my way? As Raul heads out onto the track finally. And that's Bagnaia. Let's hope no one else crashes this session. If someone's going to crash, please crash in Q2, because honestly, I can't... The delays kind of hurt my head if they crash in this session. At least afterwards, if they crash in Q2, then there's no delays of the next session. And honestly, it confuses my head trying to figure out when the next session time is. 6.5 minutes left to go now of the session as everyone's just completing their warm-up laps for their second runs as Martin heads out onto the track. It is... Oh! Between Zarco and Ralph Fernandez, there is a 32,000th gap between them in times, and that's going a little bit wide, therefore that would have been a Bullaga, I'm guessing, because that was a Ducati. I know that was a Ducati. And let's face it, there's not too many of them around. Sorry, Ducati. And And it's not because, well, it's kind of because most of them are in Q2, but also because they keep crashing out, which is a shame. And also, the only Ducatis, I just realised, Alex and Aldeguer aren't in this session, but both Bagnaia and Bullaga are. And it's like, people would expect that to be swapped. So, really good for Ganeshi right now. We could potentially see both Trackhouse riders in Q2. Honestly, yeah. I would not be surprised. Raul is very good at getting through to Q2, so we probably will see both Trackhouse in Q2, to be honest, you're right. And it's... why is saying pass? Oh yeah, I've already read that out. Ayago is in Q2 automatically. Yeah, I am very happy for Ayago right now. I mean, he seems to just be flourishing near the end of the year, and hopefully that means really good things for next year's bikes when everyone is on equal footing, which honestly I am stoked to see, because I think it will be quite an exciting season, but also quite hilarious at the same time, because you'll see people you don't usually see at the top, I'm guessing. And it will just be hilarious to see people's faces who are usually at the top, just like, how am I being beaten right now? Oh, a little bit of a wobble there for the rear of Raul Fernandez's bike. I think that's because of the curbs though. He did slightly touch one, so it's slightly unsettled him. Alex has been in Q2 in all of the qualifying sessions this year. Yes, he has. The only person actually who managed to do that, even if he has been in Q1 a few times, he's always managed to get through to the next session. And honestly, I think that's a testament to how good the Ganeshi bike is. And who is that going off to the side? That's one of the Ducatis, and I'm guessing that's Bagnaia, who's just going slightly wide. Oh! Yeah, that's yellow sector 3. The bike stopped. I said no, I suppose it's no crashing. But that is unfortunate, and it is Bagnaia. His bike has seemed to have failed in sector 3. I wish I knew what corner and I had my tracker for the riders up. That would be helpful. Binder goes into P2 with a 129.561. Here's a replay of Bagnaia seeming to lose engine power. Hold on. Listen. He's trying to get it going in this replay, but he just can't get up to the speed that's necessary, and it just starts to kind of cut out. That is so disappointing for Bagnaia, and I'm guessing that will mean that both of the Ducatis won't get through into Q2. I have to turn something off of my laptop, which keeps coming up. I should tell Joshua about that. Secret, honestly. It's always at the most important times as well. A minute and a half left to go of the session. Bastianini is estimated to go P8. I hope I didn't ruin anyone's lap times, come to think of it, because it was quite near the end, and I think Oliveira was in that section. So let's hope it didn't ruin anyone's lap times. Can't change bikes if a problem. Less than 3 minutes. Yeah, he won't be able to continue in this session, meaning he also won't get through into the next session. So we'll just have to hope that whatever the problem is fixed by the sprint later on, so he doesn't have to change to a second bike. I mean, I don't think there's a chance of rain, but you never want to kind of risk that. As Raul Fernandez goes to the top with a 129.036, Zarco goes 129.460 in second, and Aleix Spargo goes third with a 129.5 1:02.6. Those two are very close in time right there. That is very close. And so far the order with 30 seconds left to go, and I think we only have 2 people who are improving right now. That is Rins, but Bagnaia obviously stopped. He was improving though beforehand. So we have Marini and Rins are the only 2 improving out on the track. Bulliger, he had a good first section. I don't know why it says first 3 sections there, because he did not do as quick during those sections. Vinales has potential, I would say, to get at least maybe a 9th. But let's not push him too hard yet. Right, Raul Fernandez, as the checkered flag goes. Hold on. Excuse me a sec. As a quick fix to the commentary box, that was going to happen at one point because the screen just went off and it's still not working. Right, so Raul Fernandez in qualifying 1 finishes in first with a 1:29.036. Zarco in second with a 1:29.460. They both go into Q2. Then we have Marini, Aleix Spargo, Binder, Bagnaia, who didn't finish the session, Martin, Oliveira, Rins, Bastianini, Vinales, and Bullinger. Everything seems to be going off because it's near the end of the session. Hard to replicate. By becoming the first rubbers to finish 1-2 and the rider standing is such a great scene. It is. Didn't get that championship fight a lot because we thought it would be an amazing season, but seeing the Marquez brothers making history. Yeah, that was a continuation of a comment I just read because I read it out of order. Hold on, this is what happens to Bagnaia's bike. And it just seemed to cut out. I don't know whether that's an engine failure or a technical issue, but it just sounds like, honestly, it sounds like a technical issue and something's just not connecting properly as it should be. And it just cut out all the power it needed. But it wasn't like a quick click and it's like, oh, it's all cut out. It was kind of like a gradual slowing down. Do you know, like a bowling ball, when someone kind of like rolls it and then it comes to a stop? It was like that, except it didn't knock over any pins. Pins in this case would be the other riders. There are a lot of out-qualified riders. I keep reading these out of order. After all injuries Marquez has and the doubts Alex had as a rider in the past, by the way, decent job by Aleix, just missed out on Q2 by only 0.066 seconds, and had out-qualified a lot of the riders. He did, and it is amazing by Aleix. Honestly, I wish he was back. I'm just gonna turn that down because things in the background. That was an amazing run by all of the riders, especially Aleix, and for some reason, one of the riders, can't tell who it is, I think it's Martin, it was taking the long route around one of the corners, obviously Mrs. being right next to the fans. I can't blame him, to be honest. Right, so that is Q1 done with. Over to Q2 in a few moments' time, but first over to TNT.
From Sylvan.
Yeah, it sounded like, Pecco looked like he was saying benzina, which in Italian means fuel. So, yeah, it looks like he ran out of fuel, which is really bad news. That said, he did have a couple of attempts and couldn't make it work. You know, Raul Fernandez super quick, and we're going to hear the engine now. Let's have a listen. Yeah, I mean, usually when you run out of fuel, the bike will give you a little warning like that, and then it will just shut down, which is exactly what happened. Yeah.
And that
the
must
engine
be,
turned off.
for everything that's gone on, that would be extremely frustrating for Pecco, because it obviously looked like he got another lap that would have taken him through.
100%, and well, it's not something that you
How
want,
do you not
that
fuel
you
the
want
bike
happening to you. You
to
always,
get
obviously,
through
for
one
qualifying
session?
mode, run as little fuel as possible because you want the bike as light as possible.
I'll be having
and
a
that
rant
makes quite
after
a big
this.
difference, you know, from full fuel tank to almost empty, but you want it almost empty, not fully empty. So, yeah, for Pecco there, that's well, that's basically the weekend ruined. You know, in Valencia, when you start that far back, it's literally impossible to come back.
Yeah, Raul Fernandez.
Raul Fernandez, what a lap! So close to a new full-time lap record, and yeah, the Aprilia looking really good. A great weekend so far for the Trackhouse Racing as well. And Fernandez, look at that! I mean, the confidence in the front end there, attacking the last turn. You can see him look activating the ride eye device. The bike looks planted and super stable. So yeah, the Aprilia looking good, and Raul Fernandez making it count. So a great lap for him.
Yeah, really great lap. It looks so sweet around here, the Aprilia, doesn't it? He joins his teammate Iagora in Q2, who was really fast this morning as well. Let's hear from the team boss, Nats with Davide Brivio.
Well, Davide, Saturday started really well, hasn't it? Iagora topping this morning, and then Raul with 0.4 on the rest of the field there.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Of course, Ain is just FP, free practice, but it's a good sign. He went out with a used tire, so he could do the lap time with some laps on a tire, so that's good. And Raul did, I think, a great lap time in a Q1. And we felt, I mean, before the Q, we said, we can do it. Let's try it. And yeah, it did great. Now let's see. So I hope it's still hot for the Q2 and see what's happened.
Yeah, what's possible here, do you think, then, for them both? Because we know how important those first two rows are here in Valencia.
Yeah, of course, they're always important. But I mean, Aprilia seems to be well. Of course, Marco Bezzecchi has always been on top during the whole weekend. So I think he's riding very well as well on this track. And Raul coming from a good motivation for this Q2. Let's see. Let's try to, of course, we have to try to be as in front as much as possible, and see for the race tomorrow.
Thanks, Davide.
Thank you.
I mean, it's not unfeasible to say we could have an all Aprilia front row from what we've seen this weekend. But this is going to be such a great fight this next session, because you've got the Aprilias, you've got Bez, you've got Pedro Acosta looking really sharp, and then you've got the satellite Ducati teams flying the Ducati flag.
It's hard to predict, and like you said, Suze, we could get a full front row Aprilias. You know, they've got so much pace. Augura topping the session this morning on a used soft tyre, your soft this morning.
Yeah.
Raul Fernandez, you know, making miracles in that Q1, and Bezzecchi yesterday afternoon was super fast as well. Pedro Acosta as well, that has been the fastest man yesterday. Did have a small tumble this morning, so that's not great for confidence. We know he can, you know, bounce back from those crashes, but yeah, he had a little tip-off in turn 4. It's all to play for. In Valencia, the lap times are so close, and yeah, when you can put it all together like that, you can produce the lap times. The Aprilia is looking so good.
Yeah, we've got some great ingredients, haven't we? Frankie Morbidelli, all across the weekend as well, been very strong on his Ducati.
Yeah, Morbidelli is super fast here. So fortunately, didn't pick up an injury from his crash in Portimao, where he was like slammed on the left side of his shoulder, and looking super strong. The winner in 2020 as well. So Morbidelli's got a bit of history around here.
What about these tyres as well then? Feeling like they're quite closely aligned, aren't they, it seems?
Yeah, well, we don't normally, on sort of like fast time attack, we don't normally see the medium rear as close as that to the soft rear. So it looks like they are still using the soft to qualifier, so there's still a bit of an edge with that initial grip, you know, especially on the maximum leaning. But the medium tire looks really solid as well, and they're able to produce the lap time with the medium.
What about your man, Johan Zarco, going through there? What do you think his chances are? Will that session have helped him in any way in terms of the next session, do you think?
I think so. Yeah, really good track position behind Aleix Espargaro. That was really fast himself. Aleix Espargaro is on the 2026 bike as well, and he's got loads of praise. So the Honda riders are all looking forward to Tuesday when they can try that new bike for next year. And Johan Zarco, yeah, looking good. doing the lap time. I still think it's going to be tough to get on the front 2 rows. I think the Aprilias are going to be difficult to beat. Pedro Acosta, Morbidelli, these guys are going to be excelling.
Pick me a front row then.
I'm going to go for Acosta, Bezzecchi, and Raul Fernandez.
Okay, and which one of those 3 is in pole position?
I think Acosta will be on pole.
Okay, well, that's what we've got down here. We've on the screen at the moment. You can see Marc Marquez, who is back this weekend to support the team, and obviously you've got the awards ceremony tomorrow night as well to pick up his championship trophy. Lots of fans around here. It's a packed weekend. I think it's sold out around Valencia, which create a really good atmosphere in this amphitheatre style circuit that we have here for the last race weekend of 2025. Who's going to take pole position then, Gav?
Right, so that is the start of Q2. Everyone is heading out onto the track now. And I think yet again, everyone, it's every single person heading out. Yeah, it is. Right, so currently out on the track are Zarco, Quartararo, Morbidelli, Raul Fernandez, Mir, Costa, Jack Miller, D'Antonio, Aldeguer, Bezzecchi, Alex Marquez and Ayagura. As was mentioned, both of the track houses are through into Q2, which I think isn't the first time this year, but it is one of the only couple of times that they have been out together. And it's seeing Quartararo go out now with his devil helmet. Which, honestly, I kind of hope that Quartararo gets another championship soon. Because it's been a long time without him having one. So it'll be nice for him to have another one, I think. Because I definitely don't think he's only got one championship in it. He's definitely got at least like 1 or 2, maybe. Well, he's definitely got 1 in. Like 2 or 3 more. Not more, in total, I would think. And that's just because Mark's a part of the riders still, so it's going to be very difficult going against him. For everyone. If you want a chance at a championship, apparently Mark can't be in it. But he is out on injury right now, so. 13 minutes left to go of the session as they'll complete their warm-up laps. Please no one crash this session. Because at the start of Q1, didn't Augusto Fernando's crash? I'm saying this like it happened like hours ago, but honestly, it's just, you get into the mindset of, oh, you've got to talk about this, that, and you just forget how long ago a certain crash was. Right, so all Ducati in Q2 except factory teams, kind of embarrassing. Yeah, it is, to be honest. Like, what is going on there? They need to sort that very quickly because it's like they don't have Mark at the moment, so they are just not trying for some reason. I mean, not the riders are trying, but like the team, like with the bike. Something's going wrong. And something is going wrong with the bikes, and for Bagnaia that's been going wrong all season. I think they need to lock themselves in a meeting room with a bike, Bagnaia especially, and try and figure out what is wrong with a load of stats. Because what is happening? Right, so Acosta goes at first with a 129.295. Raul Fernandez is second. Raul is second with a 129 point, I think that's 339. And is that going wide there? Someone just went wide. Oh, yes, that was Bezzecchi going too wide because he starts to have a real big moment there with the bike. It just suddenly starts losing all sense of grip. Obviously, the anti-slip machinery, as we call it, was not on just then, though excellent save there from Bezzecchi. because he did go into the gravel. So I don't know whether you'd count that as like a crash, but he continued. Ayagura is 85 thousandths up on Acosta's time, and Alex Marquez is estimated first, being about 1.5 tenths quicker than his time. But that's nothing compared to Morbidelli right now, who's 2 tenths ahead of Acosta's time. So Marquez, watch out, because now we have Morbidelli. Honestly, if Morbidelli gets pole position, I would be ecstatic. That man deserves a pole. Alex Marquez goes top with a 128.967. That is about 3.5 tenths quicker than Acosta's time, and it's Morbidelli is a 129.092. Right, Quartararo estimated going 5th. Not too quick, which honestly is a roundabout normal. Oh, a little bit of a picture break up there. I'm not sure whether that's because of the weather in the UK, because it has literally rained yesterday for about 36 hours. A roundabout. Maybe a bit less, hold on. 31 maybe. Though it rained for a very long time and it wasn't light rain either. Right, so as a lot of them are heading out into the pit lane, I think only Ralph Fernandez and a lot of them are coming into the pit lane now, but there are quite a lot still out on the track. A little bit of wobble there for Ralph Fernandez. Currently we have, I'll read out the order. Alex is currently first, second is Morbidelli. Quartararo is third, being only 3 tenths down. Acosta is entering the pit lane, but is in 4th. Ralph Fernandez is in 5th. D'Antonio is in 6th. Ayagura is in 7th. Very good for Ayagura. Just so close to row 2. Mir is in 8th. Bezzecchi is in 9th. Miller is in 10th. 11th is Aldeguer, and Zarco is in 12th. Ralph Fernandez sets a 129.3. I think that's it's either 386 or 336. I think it's 336. And Morbidelli is also entering the pit lane. See, they're all entering the pit lane now, like I predicted they would, because it's halfway through the session. We're going to correlate with until I find the dictionary definition for that. Words are confusing. They're going to talk to their team. I'm just going to say it like the more basic definition. Moving outside of the box. Right, that is Bezzecchi heading out onto the track. Obviously, you can't stay away from it for long. Now, it's very unusual to see Bezzecchi in 9th position, so hopefully on his second run he can gain a little bit more time. 7.5 minutes left to go of the session. He was only in there for about a minute or two. That's a very quick... Yes, again, I'm still stuck on the word. That was a very quick... I'm just going to go discussion. Yeah, that's it. That's the word I'll use. He had a very quick discussion with his team in what he should do next. I love how everyone's just like watching me struggle with wording. Which is hilarious, given the fact that I'm usually very good with words, but apparently not that one. Acosta also heads out onto the track as we see his ride height device just that little bit. It doesn't give him too much trouble, but as everyone knows, I hate that ride height device because of the amount of problems it causes. The amount of problems it caused Quartararo at the beginning of the season as well was a joke, honestly. Alex also heads out onto the track. People who say Alex is only good because of the bike, but if you compare him to the other riders who rode on the GP24s, which are Morbidelli, Aldeguer, and Alex, hold on. Alex absolutely crushed them. Aldeguer, we didn't expect too much from him because he was a rookie, but Morbidelli has been in MotoGP for years and already has gotten close towards Alex. Yeah, to be honest, Morbidelli seems to have struggled a little bit. before the end of the season. I feel like he has on and off areas of the season, but honestly, Aldeguer, he surpassed all expectations when it came to him being a rookie and this being his first season. Honestly, I've been blown away by it, by how determined he seems on the track, and also his race victory, of course. Honestly, I can see Ganesh going really well as like a team, because both of the riders are just so strong out there. Honestly, I'm surprised that they haven't got higher in in both points, because they bring so much, and they're one of the few teams where both of the riders are showing like consistently strong results throughout all of the season. Like even like the factory Ducati, they haven't had that, because not only because of Mark being out for injury and having to bring in Bulliger, but also because of Bagnaia and how for some reason his bike just seems to have not listened to him throughout quite a majority of the season. Let's hope that changes next year. Quartararo estimated P1, so is Bezzecchi. Bezzecchi crosses the line, goes P1 with a 28.809, about a tenth and a half quicker than the time that Alex set, and then Quartararo is estimated to go even a tenth faster than Bezzecchi's time. Miller is about 70 tenths down. Oh, not 70 tenths, 70 hundredths, 70 thousandths if you want to be even more correct. Quartararo goes third with a 1:29.973, about a tenth and a half down on Bezzecchi's time. I wonder where he lost that time. It must have been in the second sector. No, not second sector, final sector. See, it's early in the morning and my coffee is only just starting to hit, so it's like my brain is recalibrating. I think I need another drink, but I don't have any more coffee. Acosta goes second with a 1:28.905. See, I have just enough coffee going around to actually be able to read out the numbers in really quick succession. Aldeguer goes seventh with 1:29.169, about 3.5 tenths down on Bezzecchi's time. And come on, Aldeguer, you're in 10th. And that is Alex Marquez going up into second with a 1:28.835. D'Antonio going third with a 1:28. I think that was 683. No, it was 863. Every time I get close to this, it starts going haywire, and I don't know why. I'm gonna have to talk to Joshua about that. Could be, maybe it's one of the reasons why the second TV just keeps hating me. It didn't hate me yesterday though, that's the thing. Right, so Raul Fernandez crosses the line, and where does he go? Fourth with a 1:28.867. Costa about to cross the line as well, from fifth into what I'm assuming is going to be second, because he's about 70 thousandths down on the time of Bezzecchi. And crosses the line, stays where he is, loses a lot in that last sector with a 1:29.068. I wonder what happened there. D'Antonio about 3 seconds down. What happened in that second sector for you to just suddenly give up? Because his first sector wasn't that bad, but his second sector and then third sector seemed to just be abysmal. And that is Alex Marquez going around for what I'm assuming is his last warm-up lap. He's on his last warm-up lap, and now I'm guessing he's on his final flying lap, because then there's only a minute and a half left to go of the session. What is that? One of the bikes, it sounds like some, do you know when you put like a piece of paper out of a window, like, and hold it while a car is going? It sounds like that, or near a fan. Do you know, like one of those fans where it's like got a more fabric-y, and it's electric, and it's got a more fabric-y propellers or blades? It sounds like that when you put your finger in it. and kind of stopping the blades from turning around. It sounds like that. Please don't be the chain. I've had enough dealings with chains in MotoGP over the past month. I mean, we had 2 in one weekend once. And I think the problem might be with Quartararo's bike. Is it Quartararo? Is he out? Yeah, it's Quartararo's, I'm guessing. Because he's currently in the pit lane and they seem to be very curious about something on his bike. So let's keep an eye on that. Hope it doesn't turn up again for the sprint. 10 seconds left to go of the session. We have bsky in first with a 128.809. And then Alex is only 26 thousandths behind. Checker flag falls. I'm currently on board with Acosta, who's been called into the box. Yeah, his lap time ain't great that time around anyway, so may as well just come in. I mean, it's not going to get anything quicker than this. And the only person who seems to be improving at all is Zarco. So I think this is pretty much our grid for the races. So we have bsky in first with a 128.809. Alex Marquez in second with a 128.835. D'Antonio in third with a 128.863. Oh, that was close in times between them two. Ralph Fernandez is in fourth. Acosta is in fifth. Quartararo is in sixth. Seventh is Morbidelli. Miller is in eighth. Aldeguer is in ninth. Mir is in 10th. Zarco is in 11th. And Ayagura is in 12th. New all-time lap record for Marco bsky as well with his 28.809. Aprilia really are strong at the moment. I can definitely see them going somewhere next year, given just by the basis of how bsky seems to be flourishing. And again, I think it might just be him as a rider that might be doing this, because he seems to be just connecting with this bike more than everyone else who has ridden it. Though, I feel like if I say we can expect great things from him, I'll sound a bit too much like Palpatine. But I can definitely see him being in contention next year for the championship. I mean, he already technically was this year. This is his 5th pole position in the last 10 Grand Prix. I mean, come on. This man is going somewhere, and it is to the top of the championship next year. Though, I think it's going to be a very interesting sprint race and race. Because I feel like it's going to be unpredictable where certain people are. I mean, Ducatis certainly don't seem to be showing much pace here. Well, factory Ducatis aren't showing much pace here. But everyone else seems to just be going through it and actually succeeding. So, wow. I can definitely see this being very interesting. Though I also think, given the position of the track, I don't think the first corner in both of the races will be that bad. I think it will be the second and third that cause problems, because people have already got, if people make a mistake on the opening corner, then it's going to, I feel like it's going to be a cascade effect. And people might end up crashing into each other or going too wide. Though I hope that doesn't happen. But this seems to be a circuit where it's kind of easy to go wide. Like, if you're pack racing, it's going to be very, very easy to actually make a mistake and go off. Everyone heading into the pit lane now. See Alex coming in. I wonder if Mark's there to congratulate him. He should be. far it's only his team. There's his team principal. Honestly, overall, an interesting session. Definitely from a point of view of Bagnaia, because how do you not... Okay, this was a rant I was going to go on about. How do you not put enough fuel in for Q1? What? You're meant to calculate how much can go in, and yet they seem to have just completely bypassed that and forgotten that.
It was so tight.
I don't know what happened with them. So, thank you for watching. And please join us later on for the sprint race here on, I don't know whether it's on JB Motorsports or JB2, so check both channels. The race tomorrow will be on JB Motorsports, though I know that for sure. So I'm assuming it will be on JB Motorsports as well, but check both just in case. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.